We are transforming this overgrown space to a beautiful urban vegetable garden with our new Vegega Metal raised beds, so make sure to stick around and watch. Our very first step here was to clean out the space from the overgrown vines and break down the brick structure that we had placed a while ago. That just didn't work so well for this space for us. We do get a lot of sun on this side of our deck, and my herb garden does very well here. So it's the perfect place for our vegetable garden.
Looking great. Even though it's raining, we're taking breaks between the rain to work on our garden. Sean's doing all the hefty lifting. I'm just, putting together, assembling
the famous
something.
Photograph.
Oh, there you go. Oh, that's right. Let's see if we could do one.
I just have to compliment my husband because he is such a hard, quick, and efficient worker. He just sets his mind into something and he gets it done super fast. It's just mind-blowing. We are going to be adding 2 of these Vegega Metal raised beds. I am so excited about these because for a while now, I've been wanting some metal raised beds. And the ones that I was looking into, they were the galvanized one, and Sean was telling me that those will probably just rust and not last as long. So these, in the other hand, is a combination of 3 different metals that is supposed to make it last for 20 years. My goodness. I'm gonna be retired by then. I'm gonna be past retirement by then. And these things are supposed to last that long. We got the 2x5 feet, and we didn't get the longer ones just because us living here in the city, I wanted them to be a little bit more compact so I can maneuver them around. In the past, we have had vegetable gardens before. However, they were straight on the ground, really huge, and they got a little bit wild. So with us living in the city, I really wanted a compact solution for that. Now let the fun begin. Let's go ahead, unbox these, and put them together. If you're interested in these Vegega Metal raised beds, make sure to use my affiliate link in the description box below and use coupon code joyfulyessi for 10% off your purchase. They do have a variety of colors, of different sizes, and depths of metal raised beds. All right, friends, I just finished assembling one of the raised beds, and it wasn't too bad. It was pretty straightforward, and it's pretty lightweight. So I just did it here, and then Sean's gonna do the other one, and then we're just simply gonna bring it over.
Good job on that one. Why don't you do that one while I work on this?
Well, are you just trying to get out of heavy work?
Heavy work.
Well, don't you want the credit of putting one together?
The tomatoes will bear fruit faster if you work on that while I do this.
Okay. Let me assemble the second one. Now, the way that the packaging is done with this is pretty compact. It comes with the instruction in here with all of, for all the different types of models that they have. We got the 4-in-1. So this is the one we got, the 5x2. And there's just 4 different ways that you can assemble it if you want to. But here's how we are making ours. So honestly, the longest part in assembling this thing is taking off the plastic and then just getting the screws on. But you really only need one person to assemble this. It's not a multi-person assembly. You get this little rubber thingy that comes to put on the top corner. And then you get the little screws and the little tool to tighten up the knolls. So you get screws, washers, and bolts in here, and the little tool that comes to, tighten up the bolts in there. Sean just couldn't help it, and he just had to come on over and join on the fun of putting these together with me. Actually, the best part was putting the little rubber thing on the top. That was actually very satisfying. Sean and I always turn everything into a game. So after we were done with these, we decided to race around the front yard, and he, of course, is a lot faster than I am. Then I headed over to Mason Farms, which is one of our local stores. Now, before going on and picking the wonderful veggie plants that we were going to add into our brand new raised beds, I went sightseeing and enjoyed the beautiful flowers, and oh, it's just so beautiful in there. I could honestly spend a whole day in there. Now back home, Sean worked on filling our raised beds. We filled most of our raised beds with compost, and in our city we get free compost. We actually put out all of our sticks and twigs and leaves and everything out on the street, and the city takes that and processes it, and then they put out compost for everybody to use. So we decided to fill up most of our raised beds with the compost. Then we added the Miracle Grow garden soil, and then we added one big bag of the Miracle Grow potting soil in each one of the beds and mixed it all together. Then after our setup was done came my favorite part of all, and that is planting our garden. All right, so we are planning on keeping both of these raised beds pretty even, with the only difference being the type of tomatoes that we are planting. In the other one over there, we did the Moby grape tomatoes. Here, we are going to do the Better Boy Plus. So the same as I did with the other one, I'm only going to do 3 of the tomato plants because they do tend to get big and grow and they need staked. So we don't want them in the front. I'm going to do 3 in the back, and then I am going to also be adding 2 of the pepper plants, and 2 of the eggplants are also going to go into this garden. In the other garden, I did some cucumbers just so they can bind down. In this particular garden, I am going to go ahead and put in the sweet peas and see how this all turns out, because this is all experimental right now. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start with my 3 plants that I am going to be adding the tomatoes. Those are the ones that are going to go in first. So I'm going to go ahead and get these little guys out of here. And then when it comes to these, I'm going to put them a little bit deeper than the rest of them because their roots tend to come out from the surface. So I want them to be nice and deep, like to about here from the stem. I'm gonna take these little fellas, nice and deep. Now, one of the reasons why we wanted raised beds in this area is because the soil is not very good. It's very cakey and dry. So we're adding into our garden area these bushes as well. To help it out, Sean added a little bit of compost in each of the spots where the bushes were planted. Now, to make this garden pop out even more, we added some mulch to the area, and it just gave it such a wonderful contrast. And finally, to add a little cherry on top to our garden, we added this beautiful hanging baskets, and this just completed the entire space together. I am so pleased with how beautiful this space turned out. I loved the plants, the flowers, the raised beds. It just makes this area on the side of our deck just come together so well, and it's just so beautiful. This is a space where we spend a lot of time during the summertime and the fall. So to bring so much life to this area just brings so much happiness and just so much brightness to our days. How about you, my friends? Is there any areas in your home that you are working on improving this year? Are there any gardens that you are creating, whether they're flower or vegetable gardens? Go ahead and let me know in the comments below. I always love hearing from you. Thank you so much for watching, and happy gardening. I'll see you next time. Bye.